Tigers in the mud part 5. You know, it's probably not too far off the reality, is it? I mean, the situation is, it's not the best. I'll put it that way. It's not the best situation that we have here. We've had a massive breakthrough of our defensive line, and that is rather intriguing. Though it does quite excite me. It really does. It's still funny, though. It's over, it's over, it's all over now. I don't know, man. We'll see how the Soviets actually take advantage of that. I like that. You know, I'm pretty jealous. I'd pretty much buy anything for something free. I'm terrible like that. Or if it's something free, I have no shame. Oh dear. I can remember going into a Volkswagen garage like showroom, etc. And they had like this jar of biscuits. So, well, I took one. Well, I took two. And then I took another two for each of my colleagues. And then, just as we're leaving, I'm like, you know what? To hell with it. So, I grabbed another two each. It's like, unless that thing's nailed down, he's like, it's free. It's free. It means you can take it. Unless it's radioactive. Well, then again, a lot of things are radioactive these days, so why not go for broke? Go home. Go big or go home, right? How's the music, by the way, guys? Is it loud enough or too loud? Bam, bam, bam. So yeah, this is going to be the episode where we get our shit caved in. And that's superb. You know, I've actually been taking a look at some of the tracks. Like, let's see. Hello there, Lanza. How you doing, my friend? Where's my favourite? See, I like Battle Hogs. This is from Gary Grigsby's Bomb in the Reich. There's some really good soundtracks. I've got to give it to Matrix and Slytherin. They do have some games with some superb soundtracks, which is absolutely amazing. I'm not doing too bad, my friend. I'm not doing too bad. I was a little bit worried this week that I would be losing my voice again. I've got a terrible, terrible tendency to get laryngitis. So it's like sometimes, you know when you get like a tickly feeling in the back of your throat, I usually get that before I get laryngitis. And thankfully, touch plastic, or whatever the hell this is, MDF, something like that, some kind of composite, I don't actually lose my voice. So it happens, and it happens often. Like I've lost it on my birthday, like, twice now. So, it's terrible. Hello there, Granite. How you doing, my friend? Ah, man. I don't even think it's anything to do with the tonsils. I just tend to get laryngitis. I don't know what it is. Hello there, Van Bishop. How you doing, my friend? I'm still hoping that we may see the weather change. Still hoping for that. That would be nice. There we go. Let the drive of Moscow begin. Indeed. Now, I do believe that we are going to have to get very, very anal about this. I think we are going to have to strip a lot of cores of basically Panzerjäger, artillery. Just trying to get things into there that we really need. The bigger guns, pretty much. Perhaps even heavy tanks. Heavy tanks would certainly be a good way to help slow this movement. Code word is imminent. I mean, Lodz is now a fortress city. This is what I was actually trying to avoid. We'll have to do our best. It may be even worthwhile throwing a counter-offensive out there. I mean, these guys are... yeah, they're not having a good day. I think we are really going to have to consider just pulling completely out of East Prussia. There's not much that we can do here right now. Hello there, Jaculus. How you doing, my friend? I hope you are well. What would you guys, what would you guys fight for? A pull back. I mean, we could pull back to the Vistula. Not all the way to the Vistula, but to this line here, perhaps. Jones lost the war due to lack of boats to the horses. You know what? They needed Quaker oats. I think I'm going to get paid now. 1 minute till Soviet steamrolling. Yes, we are going to roll them over, or we're going to be doing the rolling. There's going to be a lot of steam. Certainly a lot of steam. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to XTRG's challenge, or rather demise. So we do have a colossal Soviet breakthrough here south of Lodz. Now this is truly an interesting situation, and it could be one that does spell either disaster or either opportunity, and I'd like to believe in opportunity. And I think the music here definitely favours the bold, so I do feel that we do have opportunity here. If we examine the actual breakthrough here, I'm going to bring up my handy-dandy drawing tool. We can see that the Soviets are, of course, strongest in the centre of their breakthrough. But around these edges, there are weak points. I mean, these are too particularly weak, but they are manageable. I could break that to a degree. We also do have some weakness in the actual offensive itself. These forces aren't even particularly too tough. This, I'm not entirely sure, but it's only an armoured brigade. So I don't I don't place much on their strength. Now I only have 2 divisions in front of them. Now this would be catastrophic had it happened in reality. I mean, we have 2 divisions here to cover frontage that is far in excess of what they could possibly manage. And considering the strength arrayed against them, they'd have absolutely no chance. We do have following divisions behind, an SS division over here as well as an SS division over here. We do have to try to hold on to Breslau. Breslau is a critical city. So is Lodz. We are going to declare these fortress cities. We have Fortress City, Lodz, and Breslau. Warsaw was a fortress city, but that one fell too quickly for us to really do too much about it. I don't intend to let Lodz fall. I really don't. I think the issue is if we allow Lodz to fall, we do lose the centre to a certain degree. Breakout would become essentially inevitable. So we need to prevent this. Hello there, Warrior Donut. How you doing, my friend? Love the name. So I was busy reinforcing this section of a line, but this isn't too terrible. The fact is we've anchored ourselves along the river Vistula and we've anchored ourselves onto Lodz itself. Now I only have the Berlin Infantry Division over here belonging to the 9th Army. I can move the 732nd Artillery Brigade out as well as the 8th Corps, is that? And we'll be able to, well, push extra troops into there. I'm thinking perhaps the 58th Division Perhaps even the Volkskamjägers. The Volkskamjägers could be absolutely tenacious defenders there. Now, Lodz is going to have to be held. It simply has to hold. Though we do not have much to throw there in her defense, we do have to hope for the best. She's not even fortified. So this might be a new policy that we begin the fortification of key cities. Would be a very good idea. So begin to create some fortified zones here to the rear. Fortress infantry. Do let me know if the music is too loud. Right, we do have level 2 fortification here. Level 4 fortification at Breslau, which is really good. Yeah, start digging in every city. Tell me about it. We need to take the balance away from the Red Army. We need to stop their forward momentum. Though I do feel that we need to... And it really kills me. It really does. And I really do feel like we may even have to abandon Königsberg. Though, I'm not going to do that yet. I think we can hold her yet. What I'm envisioning here is a front line. Something like that. The idea we maintain... Well, if I could maintain this rail here would be vital. So let's see, we'll redraw that then. I need to hold on to this rail line. The reason being I can then at least move units in and out very easily, as well as supplies in and out very easily. We don't have a second rail line connecting here, so this one will be fine. But this would allow us to actually fall back in something resembling good order. Whether that is manageable is another question. It's going to be a very difficult pullback, so we'll have to do this quite slowly. Okay. It will free up some divisions, which is going to be quite nice. Though it is going to give the Soviets that momentum. The thing is, we lose land, we don't easily regain it. That's the only issues. But we'll have to see. It seems a breakout over here at Kurland would be all but impossible. So it may be that we actually try to evacuate troops over here. We'll have to see. We fell back to our new defensive line. So we'll have to see how we go. So it's a good time for war crime. Oh my dear. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how the fallback can go. I think we'll start by evacuating these troops. Now, I could have them potentially taken out via rail. That would be very intriguing. We do have some units in the way here. Let's just move the artillery here. Can I move you via rail? Seems I don't have that capability. Right, we'll set them to refit. Certainly not springtime in Germany anymore. Okay, we'll fall back to this line, I do believe. At least we do have support and artillery, which is going to make for some very useful situations. Hello there, Kandra. How you doing, my friend? Where are you? Excusez-moi. A 16th army. Oh, wow, okay. So this headquarters has been reformed down here. Okay. Yeah, I really did enjoy that regarding decisive campaigns and the clean or dirty war. 'Cause at the end of the day, this wasn't a clean war. It wasn't just a war between armies. It wasn't just that. It wasn't very clear-cut. Right. We'll have you sent over here to Königsberg. I might be able to make use, but we'll wait until we've moved everything else first. We need a clear and orderly fallback. Okay, we'll pull back over here. disband this fortified zone. Third Panzer Army will head towards Königsberg. Seems you have no units to command. That's not too bad then. What I could do is I could have them deployed perhaps just outside of Königsberg, and we could have the defenders in this area assigned to that headquarters. Okay, reform that division. These two divisions can head up north. Seems they were interdicted. Let's see. That town is quite heavily fortified, so I will try to hold on to that. Then again, is that really a smart decision? Perhaps. I think we'll hold on to it with a single division. They will fall. They will fail. I could put mechanized there, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay. I do have these fortress units. Right, they're static. I do need reinforcements really, really now. Might be able to move troops via the sea, to be honest. Okay, seems like I only have so much range. Number one rule in war is to win. Indeed. Right, so have you moved there for the time being? Okay, we could move the 23rd SS Panzergrenadier Division into this area. That's a possibility that remains to us. Right, the 23rd has arrived on the scene. Now this is actually really fantastic timing. So they're equipped with some only 2 Ostwinds, mobile wagons, Stug 3Gs, Marder 3s. They're really under-equipped, I'm not going to lie here. We do have an opportunity to give them Panzerjäger Battalion, but the most important part is the fact of their morale. So we'll have them assigned to this corps. Now you are equipped with heavy, so we are... Well, yes, we have about 28 Tiger tanks here available. That's fantastic. Those guys will definitely come in handy, even though they're not quite the super tanks, or not quite the heavy tanks they were when they first appeared. But at the end of the day, that 88mm gun will certainly come in handy. The KWK 36L56 gun will definitely come in handy. The Panzer Grenadiers are very effective too. Panzerfaust will come in great use. Yeah. Pioneer. There we go. They will certainly help to hold the line. I am considering placing a second division here. I think we can take that risk. Placing the center line here. We'll take a unit that hasn't moved as far here. I may live to regret this. I may do. Okay, so we'll have these forces assigned to this new headquarters. That should make things easier to actually command in the north. We have an abundance of corps commands over here in the north. Okay, you can take maybe another division or two. Yeah, that's about all you can manage. These forces will come in great use, though. Mm-hmm. Right, we'll change your command. Okay, that does make the situation far more simple in the north. This supply situation is pretty bad. Okay, we need to be rid of the fortified zone. Or do we? I think I'll be rid of it to strengthen this position. Okay, I do have this armored corps here. Sorry, this armored panzer division. Okay, we need to reorganize the headquarters over here. Have the Panzer Grenadiers on reserve duty. Okay. There's so much force that will be crashing down here. So very, very much. Okay, that's sort of that situation. Definitely not a good situation here. Definitely not. We'll continue to try to fall back to this line. It will be a difficult fight. Certainly a difficult fight. I do have the swamp here. I mean, we do have some force here, which is good. It's good to see. Right, we'll have this division here be one that is obviously quite damaged. Right, so you're already under the command of 4th Army directly. Intriguing. I do have the 24th Panzer Division, which has just arrived in the area. Now the 24th Panzer Division is perhaps the strongest Panzer Division I actually have in the Reich. And I'm actually pretty serious about that. That is quite a healthy division. I mean, compared to what we're normally dealing with here, this is actually pretty healthy. Morale is quite high. That's not bad at all, actually. It's not bad. Table of equipment is actually actual. Wow. That's rather impressive. This is perhaps the and only Panzer Division within the Third Reich that is actually welfare down at the moment. What do we actually have embedded here? 84 Panzer Gs. Panther Gs, sorry. 76 Panther 4Js, 31 Jagdpanzers, Hummels, Panzer 2L, so these are light tanks. Mortar carrier. Yeah, the 88 is coming great use. Only 8 of them, however. Okay, well, I'm happy with this. I'm very impressed with this. I think it would be worthwhile actually giving them the Panzerjägers. Really just augment their strength. So we've attached the 744th Panzerjäger Battalion. So that's only 5 additional Panzerjägers, sorry, Jagdpanzers. But that's still something additional to this division. I mean, this is by far the best we have. Hello there, Neuhauser. How are you doing, my friend? Right then, what command to attach to? I'd say 4th Army for the time being. Actually, then again, I can have you assigned directly here, so we'll do that. What is the command capacity here? So 9th Army is pretty overburdened. Okay. Yeah, they are suffering. Second Army is over capacity. 4th Army is technically over capacity. 3rd Panzer is not. Okay. What I'll do then is have this actual corps attached to 3rd Panzer. Though I don't have the administration points available for that. Now I've reinforced the north here with the 23rd SS Panzer Grenadier Division, which will give us some bite, at least. But the Panzer Division here is superb. I do have Army Group Center here. What do we have here in terms of support? Actually nothing. Okay, that's no good. Right, for the time being, they'll function as a true reserve. I don't know where to commit it at this moment. So they'll remain in place. So I've set it to reserve. Okay, reserve. We are weak on the ground here. Okay, we're going to fall back 1 division to the town. 1 division to the north. There we go. That should shore up this line to some degree. Yes, there's weakness here, but that's not too bad. But I think I'll just put the Panzer Grenadiers here. There we go. So at least we do have something of a front line here for the moment. Anybody have any opinions on decisive campaigns of Barbarossa? Picked up yesterday. Is it as detailed as this game? In some ways it's more detailed. In most ways, not. But I do like the Dirty War. That does sound really... It's really immersive. It adds a hell of a lot to the game. Okay. I need to reform this Panzer Division. Right, there we go. I do feel like a limited counterattack here towards Warsaw may throw the balance off of the Red Army offensive here. So, let's see. I could drive on... That's not a very good arrow. It looks like something else, I'm not gonna lie. I need some kind of, like, drawing thing that can do arrows, like good arrows. But this is what I'm thinking here. We have a very weak flank guard here. Well, I suppose we have a very weak part of the Soviet front line here. If I drive a wedge through, it will throw some of the balance off. It will take some of the steam away. They will have to address the situation. We do have a decent amount of strength on the flanks here, so that is worth noting. Okay. I do feel like it would be worthwhile to attempt this, so we will go for it. I do have panzers, should we be able to take some advantage of this. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, 3 divisions concentrated. They should be able to manage that, no issue. Should. Okay, we do throw the 100th Rifle Division back. I do have the additional divisions here. I'm going to use in conjunction with the 23rd Division to the north. Good, they succeed, and the 246 is thrown back. Now, I could try to take advantage of this, which I will do. Sadly, I can't move here. What I'll do then is... I'll advance a Panzer Division forward to a degree. I would like to see what we're facing here. Then again, let's run some reconnaissance, shall we? So we do obviously have the Rifle Division. Okay, we'll push the panzers forward. I could launch an attack here. We have... Yeah, and I think it would actually be really worthwhile to actually take these guys out. These forces here are obviously part of a construction battalion, or a construction corps. Either way, it's something that is definitely worthwhile attacking. So I'll go with a hasty attack. Scouted, wow. We'll commit in earnest then. Okay, let's pause. So this other force was forced out of the area, but the 100th Division has been weakened further. Now, I don't want to actually commit to this. What I'll do then is actually pull the panzers back. Yeah, so we need to reorganize here. Excuse me. Now this is only a small gain. And in fairness, it isn't going to buy as much. But this is a breakthrough. It's a counterattack. And that does put the Soviets on edge. It does make them think, I need to be careful. There we go, just reinforce over here. I do need to reorganize these core commands. Have you reassigned? There we go. Well, that's nicely fixed the situation. Obviously, I'll make this a little bit neat as we go. I could attack to attack, well, I could attempt to attack over here, but I don't think it'd be worthwhile. I do have an additional, so I have an additional infantry division as well as the Führer Bigger Light Panzer Grenadier division to the north. So we do have forces that we can actually try to stem the tide with. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to nip at the flanks of the actual offensive. Try to narrow it down. Also, try to really threaten these flanks. Make the Soviets really consider again what they're going to do. Where's the other element of the 72nd? Does it even exist at this point? I think the 72nd, yeah, the other element is all the way over there in the west. That does make things a lot more difficult now. So I'm going to have to use that division to really just fill in some gaps. Let's see. So I do have some panzers, which are great. These guys have started to run low on supply. So is it really worth throwing them here? I do have a good opportunity to damage the tank core over here, the 9th. But is it really worthwhile? Perhaps not. What is the supply like? So 30%, yeah, it's not worth attacking. It's really just not enough. Right, let's see if we can get to the front line. Send them to reform with their division. Okay. I'll have the Brandenburg Panzer Grenadier move into here. Grenadier, sorry. Do I have a 433rd fallback? Yes, I think so. Been in a terrible position. The Duberit will move in here to cover this. The 58th will move in here as additional reinforcement. Really make Lodz into a fortress city, ideally. The 337th are in no shape, really. We'll reform that division. There we go. I could press them into frontline service, but am I going to be paying for that? More than likely. But I need them there. Okay, the infantry can make it to the front line. Fantastic. We'll retake the town. I need to reinforce this flank. This corps will take command of the infantry here. Ideally, I have enough administration points to bring that about. Perhaps not. We'll try to bring some more armor into this. Lodz will not fall, ideally. Ideally, she will not fall. I do have some panzer grenadiers to the north that I could bring to anchor her flanks. This is what we need to do, is we really need to anchor Lodz within the ground. Really drive her in as a keystone of our defense. I think this is what we need. Okay. We do have more infantry on the way. This is a relatively strong point. Well, relative strong point, I suppose. The 10th Panzer Grenadiers could be shifted elsewhere. Deutschland will hold position. You're under this command anyway, so that's not a bad thing to do. Okay, so we press them into action on the flank here. These forces need to be sent to the rear to rearm. Well, to refit. Perhaps not the best move to move them there, and then I shift them, but oh well. I'll have you under that command. Right, reserve. Oh, your forces down here, aren't they? Actually. Shift them to the north as we can. Shift the armored here. Have the Volkskammerjägers reassigned. Oh, I can't. Ugh. They'll just have to suck it up. Actually, it's not the Volkskammerjägers, it's this division. Excuse me. Okay. The supply situation here is pretty rough. Right then, what do we do over here? I do have the forest, which is nice. Light woods, no woods here. No woods here either. I could start a limited counteroffensive over here to regain some land, buy some time. Though, in fairness, keeping those Soviet forces engaged, it does pose an issue for the Red Army, as they can't rotate them out very easily. They do need to use them or rotate them out, which it makes things a little bit harder for them to move. But then again, to throw back a division is not a bad idea, at least then they're not starting in contact with us, which does make a difference. I think if I can hit this Panzer Brigade over here, so the Armoured Brigade, At least I could inflict some damage, but I don't think I have the supplies necessary. I think we need to be very conservative. Especially considering our available resources are very slim. I think I'll have the Panzer Grenadiers and the 16th Panzer redeployed to this front here. We are facing an onslaught here, but in fairness, if I'm pushing into Carpathians, I can handle that a hell of a lot easier than I can handle IS-2s on the Polish plains and into the German territory. That I can handle to the south far easier. I have another Panzer command here. That's not bad, I could have that shifted to this army over here to the north. Then again, do I have that shifted to Panzer, to the 9th army? They are overburdened. It may be worthwhile just to have them under the command of the 4th Panzer Army. Yeah, we'll have them under the command of 4th Panzer. They do lack support, but if I can have them there, redeploy these troops, that'd be great. Are these rail lines operational? They are. Maybe due to them being on the front line, perhaps? Transport cost should be manageable. We'll move them just off the front line, perhaps. There we go. Off the trains, reassigned to this headquarters. Well, I can't right now, but that's fine. At the end of the day, we've strengthened our position here. So by having these extra panzers and panzer grenadiers, we may be able to arrest the offensive potential of the Soviets in this center here. It is obviously taking the wind out of our sails over here, but we need to do this. I don't think there's much recourse. Okay. Have them on reserve as well. At the end of the day, that's an additional almost 30,000 men. Only 200 plus armored fighting vehicles, around about 220, 230. Not a huge amount, but at least it is extra AFVs in this area. That is going to make a difference. And in fact, I'm going to have them on top of the actual headquarters here, just so it doesn't get blown away. There's a lot of weakness here. We do have to fully expect a catastrophic breakout. But I'll try to do my goddamn best. I can't move you via rail. I'll shift you down here to the south. Just have to reinforce the flank here. It's honestly no good. Okay, reinforce here. No, can't move you via rail. I'll have you assigned at the very least. They might not be able to hold the line here, but at the end of the day, at least they might be able to check it. Okay. Let's move what we have towards this area. Need to head towards Breslau. It's a really difficult situation here, because at the end of the day, the Red Army is going to punch through. They certainly are going to punch through. We do have forces to the centre of the front line, which is good. We are coming closer to our own supply, to our own interior lines, which is really very, very, very handy. So the situation is going to change. It's going to ebb and flow. Ideally, it will flow for us sooner or later. The weather is certainly not helping us. It is absolutely horrific. It means our supplies are finding it very difficult to get through. Okay, new forces have arrived. I do have a lot of artillery over here. That's actually really respectable. We need to get this to the front line. How much does this cost to move? It's actually pretty easy to move. Yeah, look at these Panzer Grenadiers. Okay. What do I have left in the pool? 2,922. Sorry, 92. I just need to shift them forward. Whatever it is at this moment has to be marched to the east. I don't want them to use too much fuel. We have Hitler Youth over here. They wouldn't last 5 minutes. Really wouldn't. Okay. Seems the panzers can't be moved via the waterway. Well, the ocean. The sea. The Baltic. We'll keep narrowing down till we get it. So we'll have to accept that. It would have been nice to move the 10th SS Panzer, but unfortunately we don't have that luxury. Okay. So we have shifted a decent amount of force. Right, we'll have to give them a new command once we have the bloody administration. Fuel doesn't matter for the vast majority of our units. It's the supply situation that's really poor. Okay, I'm going to shift some of these forces to the north. At least we could move something worth a damn. I believe the 17th Panzer may need to be reassigned to the 17th Army. I think they'd come in very handy on this flank. But I may have to do that when we actually have the administration points. Okay. I'll keep the Panzers in this area then. They can act as a reserve. These rifle corps are powerful. They will push through here. So what I'll do is I'll fall back here to the actual town itself. Fall back from that position too. What do we have here? Clear terrain. Interdicted. Didn't mean move that panzer as well, but oh well. Clear terrain here. I think I might just pull back to the mountains, to the Carpathians. Yeah, I think that's the best bet. Onto the rail line as well. At least then we have access to actual supply very handily. But this will definitely help us entrench. There we go. So then, as I imagine we're pushed back from over here, we can at least start to fortify. What do I have here? Is this mountain terrain? Mountains. And mountains, okay. But falling back here does make things significantly easier. Considering sending the 20th Panzers to the north. But I'll do that via rail. Be mad to send them through here just via their own power. Send them to Ostrava. Plenty of new cores here. We'll have to have them assigned to Army Group Vistula. I could have the 1st Marine Division moved out over here. Excuse me. I do apologize, I have a little bit of a cold. I could do, but I won't do. We'll have them just on refit for the time being. Okay. The situation certainly is bad. And it really isn't going to improve anytime soon. Really is not. So frankly, it's making the best case of a bad situation. This I'm certainly not happy about. Can't reassign them. Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We have to pray. Certainly have to pray. Do have you. Oh, another division here. Need to move them all. Move them to Bromberg. In fairness, I might leave them at Bromberg to actually help dig in. Righto. Forward boldly into the future of pain we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your predictions? Are we buggered or are we buggered? Or do we see a opportunity here that may in fact present itself? I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if we were actually able to cut off some of this Soviet offensive, well, this part of the Soviet offensive, potentially an army. If we're able to do that, that would certainly make the situation a hell of a lot better. But we managed to somewhat stabilize, somewhat cauterize the wound. As we fall back in East Prussia, we'll find it easier, but we'll see. Right, the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier Division has been forced back. Losses inflicted weren't exactly even. Forced back here as well. I didn't anticipate them to attack to the north of Lodz. Right, the fact that our headquarters has been displaced is not a good idea. That's really bad. They could isolate Lodz here. And it looks like they will certainly attempt to. So Großdeutschland holds her position. Good we hold here. So we're facing the 2nd Guard Army in the north. The 51st Army as well. So the town is lost as I imagined. Yeah, routed indeed. Could they hold? Right. Deutschland is actually pushing back. They do inflict some good casualties on the enemy. I'm mainly interested in the AFVs. So they've attacked in a completely unexpected location. I was expecting the south, but they've attacked to the north. Now, is this going to help us out, is the question. Even the 9th are forced back. The town of Plock is lost. Right, the 95th hold. Yeah, so Lodz is now cut off. We do have the means to force it back open. And I really am going to have to do that. I cannot afford to lose those units in Lodz, and I can't afford to lose a city either. So Lodz will be recovered. I suppose in some ways, at least the Red Army there has attacked the strongest position, I suppose. Even though it's the supposed strongest position is still thrown back, it does worry me, of course. But the fact is, at least that's taken a lot of the momentum out there of the centre. The centre won't move too terribly much now, ideally. We'll use that to our advantage. Really glad these men are holding. Held, at least. Yeah, held. Opportunity does present itself as the Red Army moves closer into Germany and further away from Kurland. I may be able to actually use my panzers to actually achieve some cut-off. And the thing is, they're not going to have Red Army forces immediately nearby to aid them. Those were some pretty good losses there. Wow, yeah, we actually inflicted quite nicely on them. And again, very good, very, very good. We're holding in Kurland for the moment. Ooh, that is a nice way to start here. Especially against such strong forces too. Okay, they're both, well, the 50th Route and the 28th Jaeger retreat. But they've soaked up a hell of a lot of force there. Force from the town. That's pretty important. Okay, they're forced back, but we may be able to retake the town. That artillery is really effective. I think we need to blunt the Red Army. They can only keep up these headlong offences for so long. The fact is, sure, the weather is crippling us, but it will make it significantly more difficult for the Red Army too. They can't just steamroll me. They can push me back, but they can't steamroll me. We are being forced to give ground, but we're not being forced to give huge amounts of ground. They have to fight tooth and nail for every single inch of ground they take. The only big gains they've had is by me giving it. I wish the supply situation was better. We are seeing some significant events, though. We have lost a considerable amount of ground of this area, though. But then again, we did see some, so that's not too bad. Yeah, that's it. Lodz can be saved. It can be saved. And the thing is, it may be rather intriguing as the Red Army has shifted her focus. The offensive here has clearly shifted to the north. You can definitely see that. Yes, there are forces here. Well, there might be more forces I just aren't, well, not aware of. But it definitely looks as though the main thrust has shifted to the north. Which is certainly a good thing. It means I've diverted away from the plains for the time being. Yeah, at least the enemy is not behind us. That's true. Ultimately, a painful turn, but it could have been far worse. It could have been far, far worse. Yes, Lodz is cut off from the front line. Yes, she's technically behind enemy lines at this moment now. But we can retrieve her. We can re-secure our lines there. And it may be rather intriguing. I mean, we take a look at this. So, 29,000 men lost here, 48,000 men lost for the Soviets. It's nowhere near enough to make a big difference, but it's encouraging in a way. The losses aren't as high as they could have been. Right. So these forces in Lodz are really not going to do too well here. I need to force them back. I could well, thankfully we do have a weak division here. I think first case first is to break out here. Okay. They're forced retreat, which means I do have significantly more power here. And you know what? We may have an opportunity here. I mean, it's a shame that this is such a strong strong core. If it had been weaker like over here, I would have possibly been able to just cut this mechanized core off and potentially destroyed them. But I think that might be out of the realms of possibilities. I mean, this is a difficult situation. Do I risk throwing myself here against this line? I've used a lot of my offensive power here. I do still have some, but it is somewhat limited. Now, Lodz is cut off. The rails have been cut off, which is a big shame. It was certainly something I wanted to avoid there. The front line here has taken a battering. You look at all these armoured cores here. Armoured, well, guard cores as well. That's substantial. We took a pounding over here. Absolute pounding. So the lack of fortifications here, that's the big issue. Yeah, those units are in trouble, certainly. I mean, the thing is, I could pull them back. Excuse me. Oh no, I can't pull them back. They don't have that movement. Okay, so we may very well have to go for a wild attack here. And it's one that's not even guaranteed to succeed. Then again, I do have, thankfully, these panzers that are nearby that could assist. I think it might be worthwhile doing this. If I could try to cut that division off, we might be able to pull something out of the bag. And to be honest, if I could actually destroy that division, that'd be insane. The 1st Hermann and Panzer Division could advance here. I'd have to dislodge this formation. We can attempt it. I mean, this is it. What I'm trying to do here is I'd like to remove this force, but I want to sweep in here. So I want to pin them between a rock and a hard place. I mean, if I could actually destroy this armored core. I don't think I could, but I don't know. It's one of those. I don't know if I can actually pull these forces back, and I really cannot afford to lose them. I need to somehow get them out, or we need to secure this situation. And to be honest, the easiest is going to be trying to re-secure the situation. And that is it's difficult. I could try to force them to retreat. That may be the best bet. Attack from multiple angles. Even potentially moving the Panzer Division here so they gain more momentum. Just to try and force them back out of position. If I cut... I mean, if I force these guys back, it might help us. I mean, this is weak. We don't know what's behind here. We'll see. So we'll go for some reconnaissance then to try and figure out what's going on. There are some opportunities, but not many. I do feel like this was a good move, as it has shifted the vast majority of the armies over here to the center. There's still a good amount of power here, but it's nowhere near as much as there once were. Like, that's perhaps the strongest there, those 3 rifle corps. I could potentially manage that. They didn't actually even try to advance over here, which is intriguing. Nor here, which is very good. That's good. If I could start to dig fortifications, that would be great. I do have Panzer Grenadiers, I do have infantry, as well as more panzers on the way. I do think that the main thing here is regarding this situation. I really do. They can be beaten. They can. I do have extra forces nearby to assist. Well, we'll have to try. So we have here... I mean, do I try to dislodge these forces? We have the 3rd Rifle Division, the 78th Tank Brigade, and the 377th Rifle Division. Not very strong. It's a shame this isn't weak as well. Okay. I need to get in there to Lodz. I really cannot leave her cut off like this. Okay, they can only perform a hasty attack. I think what I'll do then... Sorry about that. Right. I'm going to throw in the Panzers as well, the Panzer Grenadiers. I need to make sure they do this. That's not a good situation. Not a good situation at all. I was actually banking on being able to throw them back. Okay, the Grosse Deutschland could participate. Okay, what could I throw here? I think we just have to force them to retreat. We honestly need to pray here. Right, move you close so that you may pass this space. Let's pray, ladies and gentlemen, let's pray. Thank God for that. Now, I mean, this is the question. Do I pull back, or do we stay here in Lodz? Now, that's a lot of supply to give up. That is a lot of supply to give up. And I know, right, thankfully we did make it. That was a big attack. That was a combined attack by multiple divisions. And probably the most AFEs we could have concentrated, and perhaps at any point. So we take a look at this. Obviously, this is when we will first push back. We take a look at the second battle just outside of Lodz. We see here 98,719 men of the Wehrmacht. 1,176 pieces of artillery, 592 pieces of armor, 592 armored vehicles. Now that's intriguing actually to see that this corps is only made up of about 15,000 men. I would imagine it might have been about 30. That's not too bad. We inflicted quite heavy losses on them. 25 damaged, 34 lost. We did suffer some quite heavy losses. But you take a look at this. Single corps actually was equivalent to multiple divisions, and yeah, that's really rather depressing. We did have some light support. Some light. Yeah, this was in blizzard conditions. Well, that was fantastic. So with Lodz re-secured, well, we face phenomenal pressure here. Phenomenal. The question really is, how do we actually stop this? It's becoming increasingly difficult. I don't want to give up on Lodz. I really don't. The issue is, though, we do have some very strong flanking forces here, which could very easily cut Lodz off again. So it's one of those of, do I surrender the city? If I surrender the city, I lose all that supply, which is a difficult situation now for the Reich. I don't have much supply in the area. When you take a look, for example... That's actually a lot of supply. Okay, that's rather intriguing. That kind of mutes my point. I suppose they were cut off, weren't they? Then again, these units can't even move, so we absolutely have to hold on in any way or shape or form to Lodz. We need some connection. If we lose that connection, we may lose Lodz. We may lose those units inside. And that would mean losing the Brandenburg Panzergrenadier Division, the Berlin Infantry Division, and the 58th Division. These are actually fairly formidable divisions as well, so I can't lose them. I do thankfully have support and infantry and panzers not too far away, so we might be able to save the situation. But it certainly is heating up. Let me take a look at this. These losses are just... they're not having that much of an impact on the Red Army. It is hurting them. But they're going at me like a battering ram. I can't allow them to gain traction in the center. I can give ground here. And I think this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to obviously try to give some more ground here. To a degree. I may fall back to this line here. We do have level 3 fortifications. And that is a big significant... Yeah, we may fall back to this line then with the fortifications. That would actually really help our cause. It would actually give those units a hell of a lot more fight to them. Kurland is under immense pressure as well. Though the Red Army is heading headlong into here, and that is leaving them unbalanced. I do wish that we had more fortified positions here, but alas, we are somewhat without. I mean, these are so easy. I could push these back, no issue. I want them to keep on pushing here. If that corps was to move to the north here, then I would actually try to cut them off. I mean, even if I was to retake Mamel, that'd be incredible. So they've seized their objective of Mamel. Thankfully, their other objectives are quite deep into the Reich, like Breslau and Posen. Warsaw is an objective city within this scenario, so that's not too bad. Neither is Lodz. So that's the question then, do we actually abandon a city? I mean, I can't, even if I wanted to right now, which is a shame. But, we'll see. Yes, the main objective is just to be standing at the end of the turns given. Indeed, I will be streaming Armour Brigade in the future. Very much looking forward to it. Cold War game, certainly a great basis. At the end of the day, I don't think there's much more interested than a Cold War gone hot scenario. Okay, let's see if we can save the situation here. I need to just have one connection. So if I could move the panzers up here, that does give me some formidable bite. This was a shame. I was hoping that we could have forced them back. If we'd have been able to force them back, that would have been a big victory. But alas, no. It means that we do have to fight, and our position here is weakened massively. I may be able to move extra panzers into the area, and I think that may be the best bet. Even potentially just extra infantry would do as well. I could try to move the 10th SS Panzer Division down here. They could be there. Now the 10th SS Panzer, 64 Panther Gs, 49 Panzer 4Js, 9 Jagdpanzers. Not much. It's their morale though, really. Nearly 80 morale, that's significant. Excuse me. I do believe that this is needed. I mean, let's take a look at these actual Panzer Grenadiers. How much would they cost? 4,000, 5,000. To transport the 10th requires 10,000. So it's equivalent to those basic divisions anyway. 1,919. It may do as well to have a new army headquarters in this area as well, in this sector. So we are going to deploy the 10th. I think we need to deploy them to the north. Take them off the train. Move them in here. Okay, so we do have something approximating a good defense here. Yeah, I know, right? It's a joke, really. We have limited power here, and that is being really, really generous. Again, apologies about my voice. Little bit of a throat cold, something like that. We may be able to shift additional forces from the north, so I think what we'll do then is we'll see how we can pull back here. So I'm going to disband these units here. That gives me room to maneuver. Okay. Yeah, the weather is just incredible. Though that is rather intriguing. The forecast is snow next turn. That is going to be really intriguing. I need mud. If I gain that mud, that means my defense is significantly stronger. Yeah, I'd actually gain the rivers back. I mean, this has been an actual massive issue, is the fact that I've not had any rivers. The rivers haven't mattered. But once the snows do melt, which they may do, I mean, this is great news. This is absolutely fantastic news, and by far the best news we've had so far. Ideally, the weather continues to lessen. If the weather continues to lessen and we gain the benefit of the rivers, that is going to make the Reds bleed a hell of a lot more. It means I'll be able to form a hell of a lot stronger defensive lines, and really, we're not going to have to rely on natural terrain such as like forests or swamps or towns as much, which is really good news. Okay, great news. Very, very good news. That makes me very, very happy. Right, let's shift some of this air power. Forecast mud were a little bit of death and destruction. Yeah, tell me about it. There we go. Hello there, how you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. You have nobody to command, okay. Well, that's good. I could have you actually moved out of the situation. Move you somewhere useful, actually. So move you here. Okay. So we've fallen back to actually a hell of a lot stronger defensive line. It's like, for example, this river will come into use and it will definitely make a big difference. Especially in Kurland. Especially in Kurland. We've fallen back into these positions over here, and if I could gain the actual benefit of the river, that would be massive. It would really change the situation there. It would mean we'd have a hell of a lot more to really hold the Soviets back with. In fairness, I could have the 24th Panzer Division moved, but I don't have the rail capacity. We'll consider that. I might have actually been better off moving the 24th Panzer Division, but that's fine. We have that opportunity to do so in the future. Fall back another way of saying bravely run away. Move them to the rear. Right, it's clear terrain. I could move additional forces there so we actually try to hold that position, because there's nothing great behind it. So we've really increased our density of strength over here, which is really good news. It is going to reduce the combat whip for us, which is good news. It does mean that we'll have more forces to throw elsewhere. The good news is once I'm able to hold a somewhat static defensive line, that means I'll be able to throw armor elsewhere. I mean, this is the main Soviet offensive front. This is the main push. It's only to give the Red Army an opportunity to gain strength. Without it, the Red Army could not survive. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is it, isn't it? And today we have to be fair. The news of Mud has really cheered me up. I mean, we are giving ground. That's true. In fairness, I might just fall back to this. I'm not going to gain anything here. I mean, it does give them an opportunity to attack me from multiple angles. And it does reduce the frontage on this unit too, so that's something to bear in mind. What we'll do then is I'll shift some forces here. I need to dig in. Right, have the Panzer Grenadiers head back in. Have you hit that force there, force them back. Maybe one day. Okay, let's make sure we punish this force as much as possible. Damn. I was hoping I could dislodge them and cut that rail line. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Right, what I'm doing here is I'm going to have panzers on the flank. The reasoning for that, dear, this position's weak. Let's just strengthen that home. Have them assigned to whatever's available. Okay. What I'm trying to do here is I need to present something of strength to this Soviet offensive. If I can hold Lodz, I'd be extremely happy. Very, very happy. If I hold one connection to Lodz, I'd be out of this world. I don't think it's going to happen. The issue is I can't abandon the city because I literally cannot leave. I don't have that option. Should we have abandoned Lodz to begin with? Probably so, possibly so. But the thing is, if I'd abandoned Lodz, I'd have lost Lodz. I would have lost the city, and that would have been that. It's just one of those things, isn't it, really? If I hold on to the city, I hold on to what is, well, potentially an incredibly strong defensive position. That is really, in my opinion, worth the pain. I mean, this is it. We are going to be thrown about, and we may yet lose Lodz. I may yet lose those forces there, but the thing is, that slows down their momentum. They don't have infinite combat potential. they can be worn down. If we can wear them down long enough where I could potentially hold them at the river Roth over here, Ravi, then we might have the beginnings of a good defensive position, potentially. We have, you've thrown your Lodz in the city. God damn it, man. I like that. I respect that. Okay, I do have additional divisions I could shift up the line, though, at least. That's really something. But indeed. It's one of those of where somebody will say, well, you should have fallen back from the city, you should have fallen back, you should have fallen back. You can't fall back from every city. I mean, this is really the only city that we have in that actual area. I mean, it's considered light urban, but still having that urban actual defensive terrain is very advantageous. It's in a key position between the River Vistula and really the Carpathian Mountains, these plains to the south as well. I really think we need to hold on to it. Whether I can or not is not really under my control. Okay, let's have the security division move to the south here. I need to just consolidate this army. Yes, the ultimate objective is obviously Berlin. But we have a long time, well, ideally a long time until we reach Berlin. Thankfully, I do have a solid defensive position already set up for me once I do come close there. Ideally, we don't ever come there. The thing is, you can see here clearly how the line is definitely being dented here. So what we probably need to do then is really just to consolidate the flanks and bring it in line. We don't ever want a situation where they're going to be able to break through and surround us. Danzig is always the war goal. You'll fight some runs away, leaves to fight another day. That's true. But we're in a losing scenario here. I don't have another day. It's either fight here, where we have the advantage of terrain, or we fight in the plains of Poland. If we fight in the plains of Poland, we have no pre-prepared defensive positions. We do benefit from supply. I mean, this is the issue. Lodz has been cut off from supply, but she's still a defensive position, nonetheless. It's one of those where I'm gonna make a stand here at Lodz. I'm gonna do that. Okay, let's try and shift these forces here. I need extra men here. Yeah, start fortifying the Order. I might start building defensive positions down here. And this is a question. So I've got a defensive position set up already about here. Now, how do I extend this? Do I extend this down the line here towards the Carpathian Mountains? Which is not a bad idea at all. But the thing is, that cuts everything off here. All of this could be then taken. But it's really bad defensive terrain, really. I do have the forest, but I don't have much else. So I think we'll extend the line down here to the south, to be fair. But over here does need work. Right, we're gonna put defensive positions behind the river. And it's gonna be slow going because I really don't have much. Anyone that can hold a shovel digs. Pretty much like the defense of Moscow, right? Okay. I mean, the front line is getting closer to Berlin, but the thing is, we're not actually in true German territory as of yet, so we still have some time. We still have some time to play with. Not a huge deal. Not a huge amount. I think, the pain will continue for some time. It really does depend on the weather. If the weather does change, then... this is what I need. I need that weather to change. I really do. Let's move these cores. Let's have them assigned, and at least we have these units with some sort of headquarters. The Oder. Then again, I need to move this Holstein Panzer Division. Okay. So I do have forces over here. They're nearing the front line, which is good news. Right, what I'll do then. So I'll put you under the command of Army Group Vistula. Then I'm going to assign forces from the 9th Army to Army Group Vistula. Yeah, Downfall is such a good film. Such a good film. You know, I'm actually going to have this Panzer Division dispatched to the south here. They're going to obviously suffer from not being near the headquarters, but I'll have them transferred next turn. But I think having an additional 186 armored fighter vehicles, an additional 12,910 men, I think that will make that difference on that flank. I think it may give us that rigidity that we need, because we certainly lack a lot of that. We really are suffering here. At least we can say that we do have reinforcements on the way. So at least that is something of morale booster for the forces on the front line. To think our front line was here originally. Well, somewhere around here. As we did obviously start with Warsaw. There was a big penetration here. I would lose some resource production, heavy industry. There's not obviously a lot there, but heavy industry is still heavy industry. And we've given a lot of ground over here. Ground has had to be given over here. But the thing is, as we consolidate forces over here, our combat width decreases. The Soviet combat width does decrease as well. But the thing is, they have obviously larger numbers of units than we do. But they're going to find it difficult to use them the same. It's not an easy situation. It's definitely going to come down to an absolute slogfest. It really is about throwing armor and just thousands of guns, thousands of men to their deaths. Trying to break through. Okay. I do have the 17th Panzer Division. I could send them to the north here. It's really, really bad of me to be doing things like this, but I really do think this is actually needed. It's really bad. But the thing is, that's a really, really solid position there. That's a decent amount of armor in here. It's really rushed, it's really bad, but I'm doing this when they don't have proper headquarter support. But at the end of the day, this is what we need to do. I can't afford to lose Lodz, I can't afford to lose the men there. I can't afford that. It's not a good situation, and it's one that I need to prevent at all costs. I'll shift some men over here. So what we'll do is we'll start moving course to Army Good Vistula as well. I mean, do we begin to build this up? We'll try to. I mean, to be fair, what I could do is have divisions just moved along here, and actually they do the job just the same. It's probably time to bring back those army groups you have in Canada and India. Yeah, I think it's about time. You mean occupying the USA? Even though this train is rough, I do need to hold it. I mean, that rail line is a lifesaver. Hmm. Okay. So this is very untidy. It's not very good when I'm doing things like this. Like, you shouldn't be doing things like this. I wouldn't advise it. It's not good. But what I need to do is I need to just stiffen up the rear in any single way that I can. They'll probably knock me out over in this location. But fundamentally, I don't know. I think the thing is we need to take note of the units in the front line. These units in the front line, they will have to be rotated out at some point. So we do need to take note. We need to see really at what point the Soviets actually think, right, okay, we need to actually transfer these units from the front line to the actual rear echelon, as they're taking a beating. But once the snow does fall, when the blizzards do stop, that's when we gain the advantage as the defender here. We already do have the advantage as a defender. At the end of the day, it's a hell of a lot harder to attack than it is to defend. We have the benefit of interior lines, and as we are pushed further towards the Reich's heartlands, we do gain further interior lines, we do gain stronger interior lines as the rail density increases. There's a lot of urban centres, unfortunately, but at least they do provide pretty good keystones. They're really good in that function. The air cover will increase as obviously the line of battle decreases the length, the size of the battle. And these are compared to... Oh no, there's the Datenland Mountains. All mountains. I think the question is going to be, when do we pull back from over here in Slovakia and Hungary? That's certainly a big question. It's like I'd be pushed back to Vienna, and I do not want to be pushed back to Vienna. But that will certainly come in the next stream. So thank you so very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I'd love to hear your suggestions for how we try to evade this crisis in the center. Because this really is a crisis. This is a terrible situation. But it's one that can be rectified. There is weakness here, and we can smell it. Weakness here. There's weak points in this line. Sure, there's strong points. There's a lot of strong points. There's mostly strong points, I'm not going to lie. It's like looking at a house made of strong points, you might think, that door looks a little bit rickety, I better go ahead and kick it in. But, it's a good sign. It is a good sign. It means that there is points at which we can throw the Red Army back to hurt them. So that's something at least. But it is going to be a lot of hard work to throw them back. Take all forces, move them to Pomeranian coast, take all the forces you have, and then make a huge naval invasion behind the Soviet lines. They'll never expect it. Yeah, you're goddamn right, they'd never expect that. Zhukov, sir. What is it? So, Moscow has fallen, St. Petersburg has fallen, sorry, Petrograd has... No, was it St. Petersburg? Leningrad. All three of those cities have fallen. Sevastopol. Shelbyansk. All of it has fallen. Vladivostok has fallen. Oh dear. But yes, thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. You can find myself on YouTube under the name XTRG, and I hope to see you there in the future. So until next time, thank you and goodbye. Thank you once again to Matrix and Slytherin for allowing me to do this. It's a fantastic honor. And I hope to see you all very soon in the future. Until next time, goodbye.